Tiffany Haddish. Conversations about what she represents. She doesn't give me a Phyllis Stickney in terms of energy. Now, as far as other credits, you would continue to work. And one thing also outside of just I would say your roles and your credits is also things that you said and what you stood for. And you talk about the industry, and even in this conversation, you kind of express. Do you think one can be too black for Hollywood? And do you think that?
Oh, yeah.
You think if you maybe would have danced a bit differently,
Absolutely.
opportunities would have?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's a comedian, and when you said that, I'm trying to think of his name. There's a comedian that I met in LA. I think he's from Chicago, but that's his moniker, if you will. That's his byline. He says, "I'm too black for Hollywood." You know, it's either too real or too black. I think it's too black for Hollywood.
Yeah.
If you got to read a book called An Empire of Their Own: How the Jews Invented Hollywood, to really understand what the deal is. So I ask oftentimes people who are in the industry, have you read this book? And when they have not, I just go, well, maybe you should, because it really explains they didn't create this for any of y'all, any of us.
Right.
At all. So the fact that we're there, it was only because of blaxploitation films, quote unquote, saved Hollywood. After they got tired of the big movies with Esther Williams swimming, Fred Astaire and Grace Kelly dancing, and the big westerns were no longer attractive to the viewing, the ticket buyers. And so they took a chance on movies like Black on Five on the Black Hand Side, Cleopatra Jones, Tamara Dodson, and some of the other actresses of that time, Jim Brown, and some of the people that I can't call Sonny Jim Gaines, Bea Richards, who was one of my mentors. But when I hear them talk about black films saved Hollywood. Y'all need to learn. You need to understand. And I'm talking back when we were not seen at all. And so once Hollywood realized that we would spend money to see ourselves, they started producing more films. But Hollywood was bankrupt before that. So it was black films, the so-called blaxploitation films, that saved Hollywood when it was going under. Like TP saved Lionsgate. Yeah, I said it.
Now, even talking about that, right? As far as the empire of their own, which alludes to the fact that they control the industry, or let's say the others control the industry, which is their game of Hollywood. That makes me think about the conversation of only like one black comedian at a time we've heard. I might even go as far as to say like there's like one maybe leading black male actor. Now I want to go into black female comedians. You're a female comedian. Tiffany Haddish. Conversations about what she represents. She doesn't give me a Phyllis Stickney in terms of energy. Is that Hollywood choosing someone like that to propel? Okay.
Yeah, let's keep it 1,000. We ain't playing. I mean, why?
All the opportunities.
I've been in the game 40 years. I don't. My heart pumps no Kool-Aid, in case you needed to know. Okay. So the truth is the truth. It's evident. There's some that are extremely talented, but you have to look at who and why they choose what they choose. That's going to be somebody. See, I'm not going to be your favorite spotser. There was a comedian that I know. She's now a director. I was at the comic strip and the Dangerfields. I did all that back when it was literally, you would stand out in the cold, the rain, whatever. They didn't care. They were going to give out 8 numbers and you got 3 minutes. They were going to hand out 8 numbers. There may be 200 people out there, but only those who persevered to be the last 8 to get those numbers would get those 3 minutes to go on at the Improv, the Comedy Store. That was the way it was. The game has totally changed. So you had to really have tenacity, talent, patience, a whole lot of things, or you had to be willing to submit to the casting couch. That was not me.
I wonder, does Tiffany, is she aware of why she's been selected? Or is she just like happy?
I don't think she cares. Because I think at some point, it was also, and I don't know all of her background, but I know that there was a time she was in a certain camp, I think,
The Richard Pryor camp.
so
Yeah.
there was already a certain preparation, there was already if you will, her
A grooming.
grooming. Thank you. There was a certain grooming, so they already were aware of her. And then there were things that I just probably wouldn't do. And this is me. I'm not going to be, passing gas. Flatulation is not funny to me, especially being a female. So
Yeah.
certain things you're not going to be able to talk about me and around me, and I'm going to kiki with you. It's just not going to go down like that because it's disrespectful. I'm not going to let you introduce me as my favorite schwarze. I'm just not going to do that. But at that time, if you had to hang out. It's still somewhat that. What I alluded to earlier is like, I'm not hanging out with you. We're not getting ready to go back to your crib, my crib. We're not getting ready to do that. We can talk about the game. We can talk about, my material. We can do all of that. But me as a mate or as a conquest is not a part of it. And some people are just willing to play that game. I'd rather have gotten here and be able to look myself in the mirror and feel good. I don't, and not that I have not done things like I said, I repented and meant it. You know what I mean? I did my repenting and I'm moving forward. There are things that I've done that I would not repeat. But it was not something to get a job or to get casted. It was just things, growing up and living life as an artist that I experienced.
Yeah. And in recent times, we would see an emergence of Jonathan Majors in his plight. And it kind of made me think about the narrowness that you will see black heterosexual men pushed in front of the mass media. I thought about Wesley. I haven't seen too many Wesley Snipes coming through the door, like New Jack City. What are your thoughts when you see that? Do you think about an empire of your own when you see how quickly, what he's being accused of, and we don't know if it's true or not, but what he's being accused of is not great at all. However, it does seem kind of interesting how they're handling him, and kind of villain. Yeah. Just any thoughts about seeing that play out?
Well, I'm not a novice and I'm a student of history, right? So I understand what the studio system is. It still exists. These are people that are chosen, that are coded, and there's certain things that they're allowed to do, and there's certain things that it's okay and it's sanctioned and you're in the club because they know who you are. They encourage you to be who you are because that's where they take the pictures. And those pictures are the ones that come to have you compromise yourself. They go, oh, well, which one do you want your daughter to see or your wife when they catch you in compromising positions that they've created for you to be in? So now they created the situation for you to be in that made you feel that you were above the law, right? And then later you come back and oops, somebody blew the whistle, or oops, it's discovered. But they know who you are, what your vices are before they give you the golden key.